Hey everyone, and welcome back to Master Tarot. What I thought I would read on today is a little bit of a follow-up from yesterday in regards to the war crimes, Russian war crimes. I've been wanting to do this reading for a while, and I really felt that now is the time. I wanted to have a look into what actually makes Putin tick, what makes Putin who he is, and just see where it leads us, as into his past, his present, and his thoughts of what he believes he's going to do for the future. So it could be quite interesting energies to be in. What I'm going to do is I'm looking around because I'm not decided on what deck that I want to use at this stage. I'm going to do 3 rows of 3 cards each, past, present and future, and then throw some clarifiers on that as well. I'm just trying to decide what deck to use. I'm going to use my Gilded Tarot Royale. I was tossing up between that and my Mystical Manga cards. I'm being told to use my Golden Universal Tarot. It's my Trump, my oligarch, my whatever cards. Wouldn't usually use them for a particular person, but that's the message that I'm getting, is to use those, the Golden Universal Tarot. So this will be interesting energies to enter into. I might have to do a bit of a sage burning afterwards to clear it a bit. I'm not actually feeling anything evil. I know what he is doing is just horrific. I'm feeling an immense sadness and disappointment. Disappointment's not the right word. What I'm really feeling, the energies that I'm feeling, I'm just trying to put these into words. It's hard to put feelings into actual words on occasion. What I'm feeling is that he's been trying to fulfill some emptiness from that's within him, with all this external stuff that's been going on his entire life. And because he's not acknowledging the real reason, sorry, I've got a hair's hanging down and annoying me, because he's not actually acknowledging, not being consciously aware of that it is something missing internally, that it is never being filled. But we'll have a look. So I hope that sort of kind of explained what I was trying to get across, was that there is a lack in himself, emotionally within himself, that he has been trying to fill with money and power and aggression and glory, and glory in his eyes, his perception of glory. But no matter what he does, he is still feeling this hollow emptiness within. So, okay, doesn't excuse what he's doing. It just goes some way towards explaining. I'll just push this back a little bit. Sorry about that. Got things going on here. Push it back a little bit so I can get the cards in a line. Lots of 3 cards, please. Oh, flung out at me the Queen of Swords, which is telling me from a feminine energy, which is my energy, that what I was trying to explain was completely spot on truth. So I hope it came through, and that I am currently bringing forward a message for you, moving on with a message. So, okay, tell me about past 3 rows, 3 cards for each row. Past, present, future. What makes Putin who he is in the now? Manipulation, that's who he is in the now. He is a master manipulator. That is who he is in the now. I'll put that in the centre, please. 3 cards. Past, what went on in his past to make who he is now. What is his thoughts now, his emotions? What is he hoping to achieve in the future now? I'm not saying he will achieve it, because I have seen that he is very rapidly on his way out. Oh, sorry, I've just got extremely lightheaded as I said that. Extremely lightheaded. But tell me, 3 rows, 3 cards for each row, please. Oh, as I was thinking that, this is moving on out of troubled waters. But okay, tell me. Past, present, future, please, Master. Past, present, future. 3 rows, 3 cards for each row. 3 rows, 3 cards for each row. 3 rows, 3 cards for each row. Oh, just feeling the energy. Probably should have some sage burning now, actually. So that's the middle card. Sorry about that. Even though it's a gloomy day today, the sun still shines in that window. This is his past. Past. Wow. Okay, interesting. 2 major arcana and the King of Cups. His present and his future. Oh, base of the pack. Base of the pack. I'll show you the base of the pack in a minute, because the second card was an interesting one too. So what we've got here is, this is his past. His past, he actually had originally a very balanced childhood, a very spiritual but physically balanced childhood, where there was emotion which is the water, but there was also reality, hard work, which is the land, 1 foot in each. So his childhood was actually okay. This does look like an overbearing figure. It is the King of Cups, which is usually a calm, diplomatic figure, bringing forward an offer in regards to a situation. But it is a powerful, benevolent energy, is what I'm getting. However, something happened. A door was slammed shut on him, and I'll draw some more cards in regards to this row in a minute to try and understand him a little bit better. There is something that happened in his past that set him on a completely new cycle. And I will draw some more cards in regards to that to see if I can find out what it was. But, you know, these cards to me are going together. He actually, his childhood was balanced and full of a calm relationship, energy, emotion, you know, calm emotions, calm diplomacy. But there is this aspect of something that's happened in his past. As I said, I'll draw on that a bit more in a moment. Pardon me. We've got quite humid weather, and it does play a bit with my lungs, so I do apologise. This is him in the present. In the present, so he's stepping out in full faith and belief of who he is. These are quite interesting cards. I'll have a look at those a bit closer in a minute. But this is him stepping forward in confidence of who he is. However, he is bombarded by these messages that I don't know that he necessarily wants to hear. So I'm going to bring this up. Again, I'll draw some more cards on this row itself. But this is him. He's showing this aura of absolute confidence. This is where he is at the present. He's putting all these messages out. He's putting all this energy out. Now, wands are communication, career, passion and plans. So all these plans he's putting forward in an attempt to fill this emotional cup. So these are overwhelming emotions. Now he looks like, thank you, Master. When you look at Putin, he looks like he is dead inside and he is emotionless. He has actually got this overwhelming emotion within him that he cannot seem to fill. You've got this dove putting the coin in the cup, but you notice that the cup is never full. Whatever is being put in is literally being spat straight back out again. And I'm thinking that this is the energies that he's in at the moment. He's desperately trying anything to fill this empty cup, but it won't be filled. Surrounding the Master Manipulator. In the future, despair. This is how he's viewing the future now, because I'm sorry, he doesn't have a future. He is really anxious about his future. This is a page bringing forward the health. And he has choices that he's feeling he has choices. He's being distracted by the choices. He's being distracted by the choices, but I'm feeling just this great emptiness in regards to his future. He was distracted by the choices, but he is despairing about his health, about the messages that he's getting about his health. And he is seeing, okay, thank you, Master. We have this agreement. He used to not tell me until after a reading of information that I would have needed during a reading. He'd go, you really should have said, or no, what it really meant was this. So we have this agreement where he now has, that he tells me during a reading. So if I sound disjointed and interrupted, it's because I'm putting a message to him to clarify something for me, and he is downloading it. So where was I going? Okay, he is really mentally unwell, and he is in despair and anguish, and really doesn't know what to do in regards to the messages he's getting about his health. And he knows that he has these choices to make, but I think what's happened is this comes back to the unfulfillment. He's looking at these choices that he has had in his life and realizing that they're just existing on a puff of a cloud. That these choices were that he made about power and money, power and money and property and strength and the snake of betrayal and unknowns and immortality. He's realizing that these choices, these emotional choices that he was offered in the past that he took, mean nothing when he is faced with this situation. And this comes back to what I was talking about before, this feeling of emptiness that he has, that he has been trying to fill, that I will have a look at in a minute, that's in regards to this Wheel of Fortune. What happened in his past that set him on this new path? At the base of the pack, we have the energy that he sits in now, that sorry, okay, so what I'll do is I'll just move these cards to the side and I'll bring you down to have a look at these, because these are really interesting. This is the energy that he sits in now, this devil energy. This is where he is. Greed, avarice, toxicity, chained to these addictions, just everything narcissistic and evil and nasty. He's actually feeling this is not him. This is him being chained to this energy, and that's what he's found himself, that through his choices in life, he has been chained to this evilness, energy. Ooh, I'm sorry, I'm just... Ooh. Followed by the truth coming forward. Now, to me, this aligns with these cards here, of the truth of his health coming forward. And this is him actually departing. This is him going. He has been extremely disappointed with the emotional choices that he has made in his life. He actually is feeling a lot of regret. Wow, I didn't expect that. You're not going to see it from him. He's not going to show it to you. But he's been trying to fill these emotional cups ever since this energy, and he is feeling that they are still empty. Wow, okay. I'm not trying to garner sympathy for this guy. Honestly, I'm really, really not. But this goes some way towards explaining why he is how he is. This energy is, it's empty. He is extremely disappointed with the emotions that the emotional offerings he's had through his life. And the final card we have at the base for me is an inevitable ending. And he knows, if you look at these cards either side, he knows that his end is near, and he's actually really disappointed emotionally, internally, with his life and what he has done. Wow. And it is his ending, and he is aware of that. He is becoming aware. I don't know that he will ever actually be consciously aware that his choices have chained him to this energy, but he is aware of this extreme disappointment. Wow, okay, that was interesting. So, no sympathy for the chap whatsoever. Despite what goes on in our lives, we do have freedom of choice. We have freedom of choice. But what I want to have a look at, and to quote, which one is it? The Holy Grail. Indiana Jones and the Holy Grail. He chose poorly. But I do want to have a look at this instance that occurred in his life that set him on this path. I'm going to use my intuition cards for this, because the first two cards that came out indicated that he actually had quite a... Now, I don't know his situation. I don't know if something happened to his parents. He was born, when was he born? 1950, 51. So post-war, but whether something happened during that post-war, so he wasn't in World War II, but whether there was something in his childhood that set him on this new path. This is about destiny and karma. This is about closing of doors and opening of new doors. This is very much about significant change of direction in life. So tell me please about, please Master, using my intuition cards, can you expand, can you please expand on this Wheel of Fortune card? What happened in Putin's childhood that set him on this path that he took? Can you tell me please what happened in his childhood that set him on this path that he has taken? Please tell me, please give me some more detail in regards to this path that he has taken. Keep getting cards thrown out at me. Here he is here. Oh! Sorry. The two cards. He is out. But tell me please, just expand on this Wheel of Fortune card about what happened in Vladimir Putin's youth that has sent him on this path that he chose to take. What event was it that happened in his youth? There's a lot of cards he's got to sort out into order. Thank you. Okay. Right, so that's the card we're looking at. Let's see what happened in his youth. Small. Yes. So something happened where he was made to feel insignificant. Ooh, that one's upside down. Now, I don't usually read upside down, which means I'm very careful about having my cards up the right way. Let's see where this goes. So this is obviously a death, a significant death that occurred in his youth that set him on this path. That set him on this path. Maybe it wasn't a death. Maybe it was... Okay, we'll keep going. Could take me a bit to read this. Right, so I'll just do another row. So we've got, he was made to feel significant. Yes, it's telling me. Is it telling me to put this card up the other way? Tell me, is it telling me to put this card? I think it is, because it wants me to put it up. So there was a death of someone he was close to that set him on this path where he lost out on something quite important, contractual to him. He was set on this convoluted path that seemed like a good idea. That was his destiny, that he felt was his destiny. Out of poverty. I need one more card on there. And that he did trust in peace. There was something peaceful in his life that was thrown out. And I think it was through this death. Was it if anybody knows, please let me, was it a mentor figure that died? Was it a beloved family member that was guiding him that died, that set him on this path where he was attracted to new ideas and but the poverty of his trust and peace as it was thrown out. Okay. Yeah. So we have a leader, a very significant leader, a very significant leader. I'm getting the bullseye, so I'm seeing that this was him. This is Putin, bullseye. He was sent down an alien path of murkiness via international I think he was recruited. So he was despairing this death. His world was shattered by some death, and then he was left with no guidance, is what I'm getting. This death led him to losing the guidance, the mentor in his life. So he went down this convoluted path. He was attracted to this light, like a moth to a flame, of some promises that became his fate. And he felt poor, he felt poverty, so his trust and peace was shattered, was sent out. This is him, bullseye. He was drawn in by some alien figure that introduced him to the murky swamp via something that happened overseas, which flipped him into fear, and conflict. Oh, is this the Cold War? Okay, I just got told that this was something about the Cuban Missile Crisis flipped it. His fear of what was going on flipped him in his past. The rule. Okay. In his past, the rule of family and working together only brought him sadness. No balance in his life. There was no balance. So whatever this death was, and that this loss of guidance that set him on this path, wow. He entwined strength with magic and fulfillment. So he intertwined strength with seeking magic to fulfill, or seeking, what's the word, Meister? What's the word? Glory? I'm not sure that that's the right word, but I think you know what I'm getting at. The illusion of magic to fill him, but he was divided. He was divided by his slow masculinity. Does that make sense? Oh, this is post-Putin. Okay, thank you, Meister. He was divided by his feeling of lack of masculinity. Whatever this was, his lack of masculinity. It will come to full light when he is struck down in time, and when there becomes security and unity and rebuilding and transformation. Okay, again, not trying to garner sympathy for the guy, but there was a significant turning point in his youth. Something or somebody died. Something or somebody died. Peace that had brought him peace and mentoring and trust was out. And he was lured into this alien swamp via overseas conflict and fear that flipped him into this path he took. The past he had where he felt the rule of his past was family, and working together was no longer in balance. So if anyone has some information, I am really happy about these cards that came out at the end. I feel that we won't know what actually happened in his past, if ever, until after he's gone and Russia has undergone a transformation. But if anybody knows, let me know. It was a real turning point in his life. There was something significant, major. There was a death of something that was extremely guiding to him, centering to him, that set him off on this new path that he felt that he lacked masculinity, which is interesting, and that he has then and this whatever it was that was taken, I won't say taken from him, that he did not, that he was trying to fill. He has spent his life trying to fill whatever it was that he lost as a child, and because it was emotional and he was trying to fill it with physical, there was no way it was ever going to happen. So thank you for joining me. I hope that's a little bit insightful. Part of the reason why I wanted to do that reading today was for our own sanity. I am not... we can't feel ill of others because that reflects on us. Forgiveness is a huge part of healing. Now, I'm not saying Putin should ever be forgotten for what he has done, but for our own mental states, we need to find a way to forgive what has happened, not necessarily the bloke himself, but we need to forgive what has happened for us to be able to heal and not become bitter. I'm talking as if he's in the past tense, and I'm really getting that feeling that he is past tense. Not necessarily today, but in the very near future. And a really important step in towards the healing is to forgive, not forget, but to forgive for our own sakes. Okay, thank you for joining me. Would love your comments. Happy for you to be outraged at the way I'm putting that. I'm hoping that you understand what I'm trying to get across. The moving on from his era is for our own sakes, not for his. And it is for the healing, so that we don't fall into bitter recriminations and unfulfilled backlash or lashing out, because we would just end up with this emptiness within inside, which is what he is, which is what he is carrying, and it serves no purpose. So please look after yourselves mentally, spiritually, and physically. And I love you all. I'm sending light to you all. So take care and look after yourselves. Bye-bye.